Hello children, this video is on sulfuric acid for class 10. Now sulfuric acid is also known as oil of vitriol because it was first prepared by distillation of green vitriol, which is hydrated ferrous sulfate or FeSO4.7H2O. It was obtained by distillation of this green vitriol, that is why it is also called oil of vitriol. It is also known as the king of chemicals because of its wide variety of applications. It is one single compound which is used in a variety of applications in various industries. Now its molecular mass is 1998 AMU or 98 grams is the gram molecular mass. Now there are three general methods of preparation of sulfuric acid. First is by the reaction of sulfur dioxide with chlorine water. You get sulfuric acid and hydrochloric acid. You get sulfuric acid and hydrochloric acid. Another method is by the oxidation of a nonmetal sulfur by an oxidizing agent, which is nitric acid. You get sulfuric acid plus of course nitrogen dioxide. This should be in the concentrated form, plus you get water. A third method is by the action of sulfuryl chloride and water. You can also prepare sulfuric acid plus 2HCl. The equations are all given in the book. Please go through them. Next we'll study about the manufacture of sulfuric acid industrially. And this process is known as the contact process. Please remember the names of the processes of the various compounds. Now this takes place in three main steps. In the first step, you have production of sulfur dioxide. Now this can be done by two ways, either heating of sulfur or heating of iron pyrites. FeS2 is iron pyrites. You simply heat these, you will get, the first step is to obtain sulfur dioxide. Now this burns with a pale blue flame. Sulfur burns with a pale blue flame to give sulfur dioxide. Now in the first step, you have to write any one of these two equations unless it is otherwise specified that you have to prepare sulfur dioxide from iron pyrites. Clear? The second step is to oxidize sulfur dioxide. This step is also called catalytic oxidation. In this step, sulfur dioxide is burnt in air or oxygen in the presence of a catalyst vanadium pentoxide to get oxidized to sulfur trioxide. Now instead of vanadium pentoxide, you can also use platinum, but it is very expensive. That is why you use vanadium pentoxide. And the conditions of temperature is 450 degrees Celsius to 500 degrees Celsius, and the atmospheric pressure required is 1 to 2 atmospheres. Now these have been deduced on the basis of Le Chatelier's principle also. Clear? Now the third step, here the important thing which you need to know is that even though sulfur trioxide is an anhydride of sulfuric acid, anhydride means it dissolves in water to give sulfuric acid, but this method is practically never adopted to obtain sulfuric acid. The reason is that when you dissolve sulfur trioxide in water, the reaction is highly exothermic and it results in the formation of dense fog or misty droplets of sulfuric acid particles which does not easily condense. So you never get a better yield of sulfuric acid. So in the third step, instead of directly dissolving sulfur trioxide in water, what is done? Here you have to write in two steps or two equations. First, sulfur trioxide is dissolved in sulfuric acid to get an intermediate product which is called pyrosulfuric acid or oleum, H2S2O7. Now to this oleum, calculated amount of water is added to obtain sulfuric acid of desired concentration. This is how in the third step you obtain sulfuric acid in the contact process. I hope it's clear now. Now the sulfuric acid obtained by this process is nearly 98% concentrated. Next come to properties of sulfuric acid. Now physical properties, you know, it is hygroscopic liquid. In the concentrated form it is highly corrosive to the skin, and it is a non-volatile acid. Non-volatile acid means it has a very high boiling point. High boiling point, which is nearly 338 degrees Celsius. Now come to the chemical properties. Now the chemical properties of sulfuric acid we will study under 4 categories. Now sulfuric acid as a typical acid or typical acid properties. Second is its non-volatile nature. Third is its oxidizing nature. It's a strong oxidizing agent in the concentrated form, of course. And the third is its dehydrating properties or dehydrating nature. We will study the chemical properties under these 4 heads. Now, as a typical acid, sulfuric acid gives hydrogen gas when made to react with metals. With carbonates and bicarbonates, it gives carbon dioxide gas. With sulfides and bisulfides, it gives sulfur dioxide gas. You know the test for sulfur dioxide gas, which turns acidified potassium dichromate from orange yellow to clear green, and all those observations you have to learn. It also converts sulfides, metal sulfides, to hydrogen sulfide gas, which is a rotten egg smelling gas. It also undergoes neutralization reactions where it reacts with a base to give salt and water only. Now all these reactions are shown by sulfuric acid in the dilute form. Now its non-volatile nature can be shown in the preparation of 2 acids, HCl acid and nitric acid. About HCl acid we have already studied how it is prepared. Now to prepare HCl acid, you take the corresponding chloride and of course concentrated sulfuric acid. I hope you remember that the temperature has to be maintained below 200 degrees Celsius to get sulfide plus HCl. For preparing nitric acid also, you take the nitrate, or NaNO3 plus H2SO4 concentrated. This is very important, where you get NaHSO4 plus HNO3. Now in the preparation of these 2 acids, you require concentrated sulfuric acid, and here the property exhibited by sulfuric acid is its non-volatile nature or least volatile nature. Now because it is non-volatile, it is used to prepare more volatile acids like HCl and HNO3. Clear? Now come to its oxidizing properties. Now as an oxidizing agent, it oxidizes nonmetals like carbon, sulfur and phosphorus to carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide and phosphoric acid respectively. The equations are all given in the book. You have to learn them. It also oxidizes metals like zinc. Suppose you take zinc metal and concentrated sulfuric acid, you will get zinc sulfate plus water plus sulfur dioxide gas. Very, very important. Here remember, if the acid is in dilute form, you will get hydrogen gas with zinc. But with concentrated sulfuric acid, the gas evolved is sulfur dioxide. This is the oxidizing property of sulfur dioxide. Now it also oxidizes hydroiodic acid to iodine by loss or removal of hydrogen. It also oxidizes hydrogen sulfide to sulfur. Hydrogen sulfide is oxidized to sulfur. plus SO2. Next we'll study about the dehydrating property. The fourth property is its dehydrating nature. Now dehydrating agents are those which remove the elements of water, hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 2:1 from compounds. Now sulfuric acid removes hydrogen and oxygen which are chemically combined in a compound. For example, suppose we have C6H12O6, this is glucose or sugar also. If you add few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid, you will see that a black spongy mass of carbon is obtained or the sugar gets charred. You can get equation as well as observation. This is a black spongy mass. This is an example of dehydration reaction. Now, concentrated sulfuric acid also removes the water of crystallization from certain hydrated salts. It will give CuSO4 plus 5H2O. Here this is blue crystals and it gives white amorphous mass. White amorphous mass. Now it also removes water. It means concentrated sulfuric acid also removes water from formic acid, oxalic acid and ethanol. Okay. Next come to test for sulfuric acid. Now for dilute sulfuric acid, you can add barium chloride or lead nitrate and you will get a white precipitate of barium sulfate and lead sulfate respectively. This is the test for dilute sulfuric acid. If you are asked to give a test for concentrated sulfuric acid, then you can give the test for concentrated sulfuric acid with zinc, where a gas is evolved which turns acidified potassium dichromate green. We've already studied about this test. This you can give for concentrated sulfuric acid test. Now if you are asked to distinguish between dilute sulfuric acid and dilute hydrochloric acid, same, you can use barium chloride for both. This will give no precipitate, whereas dilute sulfuric acid will give a white precipitate. If you are asked to distinguish between dilute sulfuric acid and dilute nitric acid, then you can use lead nitrate solution. Now lead nitrate with HNO3 will give no precipitate, whereas with sulfuric acid it will give a white precipitate of lead sulfate. Clear? Last we come to the uses of sulfuric acid. Now it is used to in the preparation of fertilizers like ammonium sulfate, then rayon, nylon, dyes, drugs. It is also used to prepare explosives like TNT. What is TNT? Trinitrotoluene. And also in the preparation of important chemicals like nitric acid and hydrochloric acid. That's all in sulfuric acid chapter. Thank you.